Oh, great live shot from Chopper24 over some homes today. You know, last month we stuck a fork in 2020, and today the Toronto Regional Real Estate Board is here to read the tea leaves and outline the trends for buying and selling property in 2021. Let's welcome TRREB President and Realtor Lisa Patel. Lisa, good morning, and thanks for being here on CP24 Breakfast.
Good morning, George. It's awesome to be back with you again. And I know you were talking about food, so I've got some food for you.
No. Yeah, that's what I need, more pastry. Right. You know what? We've got a lot to cover. Let's get right into it. Let's begin with the market stats from just this past January of 2021. Nearly 7,000 homes sold. That's a 50% jump over 2020. Correct. Does that cross all sectors?
That is correct, yeah. So 6,928 homes sold across all segments. So very impressive January for sure.
So new listings also up year over year, but not as much as sales. What does that indicate?
Well, you know what? I think it's the demand and the intentions for buying is there. So again, normally speaking, if we go back to a normal market and thinking about that perspective, we would normally see less inventory to begin with in a January. And of course, you know, being still in this pandemic and what we've come across in the course of the last year is that the intentions to buying homes is strong, as well as the demand.
Now, just wrapping things up with January of this year, the average selling price of a home up 15.5% to just under $1 million. Wow. What drove the price here?
Well, and that's the challenge, is the demand is so strong, but the supply is the issue, right? And that's really what we've been speaking about for the last year, is that really needing more supply, and that's really what's going to change things and perspectives. And including you and I spoke about our report that was going to come out, and of course our report has come out, and we spoke about the missing middle research and what would help some of that demand for supply. Because think about it, we haven't even opened up immigration. So imagine what it's going to be like at some point in 2021 or going into 2022 when those sectors open up as well.
Right. So the missing middle, as it's called, with your forecasting, you know, the market's healthy, right? But the increased supply of different kinds of housing and conversions of established homes, that's something too, huh?
You said a mouthful. Yes, and I will also add, I mean, Ipsos did a survey, and we found that 81% of respondents plan on using a realtor in their intentions of buying a home. So I will say, I have to give a big shout out to TRREB member realtors out there. Thank you for everything that you're doing on a daily basis to make a difference in people's journey. Absolutely.
Look, it's the professional route to go. It makes sense. In terms of just quickly looking back at this past year before we do more looking ahead, you know, we had the lockdown. What impact did COVID have to the market, you know, the relationship with your clients, that whole thing?
Well, and you and I have spoken a little bit about this briefly before, George, and I will say that if anything, what COVID has done is certainly proven that the demand for real estate is still there, and the intention for investing and the dream of home ownership is still as strong as it was prior to the pandemic. And we witnessed that in the course of the last year. You know, if we look back at March 2020 and prior to that, going into 2020, where the demand was so strong, and then of course March being a halt, and then shortly after, as the economy opened up, so did the record-breaking months of real estate.
And you know, there's so much focus right now on wild swings in tech and hedge funds, Bitcoin, that kind of thing. But post-pandemic, in terms of economic recovery, real estate's going to be the foundation, right?
Absolutely. It's, you know, we predict that it's still going to be a strong and healthy market ahead. And of course, it's been one of the economic stability factors too.
You know, yeah, it's a long game, right? You hear the sky is falling, the bubble will burst. Been hearing that since before the 2008 recession. And some credit agencies say the market could be fragile without a lot of government assistance. But, you know, where does TRREB come down on that?
You know, ultimately, we're focusing really on lobbying efforts with the government and really focusing on supply issues. Right. And that is our concern. As for real estate overall, we still see it as a strong marketplace. And we can see that through the results of 2020 and looking into, as we start off 2021, that the demand is there, and people also realize the value in homes and the value in investing in real real estate here.
Indeed. Last thing, Lisa Patel, where can people reach out for more on how to buy and sell a house?
Absolutely. Visit TRREB.ca. That's TRREB.ca. Actually, George, are you going to say it? Because you have a beautiful twist to it.
That's TRREB.
That's
Lisa
perfect.
Patel, president of TRREB and realtor, thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you.
And we'll take a short break and be back with more on CP24 Breakfast.